And we are live. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Push Power Show, man. I know you haven't seen me. I haven't done a couple of shows for a couple of 2 weeks, but I'm back, and I'm happy. I mean, I love doing this. I love bringing in entrepreneurs from all over the world, from the ones that are barely starting, from the ones that are in the middle, the ones that are already making 6, 7 figures. You, you never know what ideas or something that you're gonna get from them. Write it down because you can apply it to you and be like, oh, that aha moment when you're like, I needed that. I needed to take this and now I can apply it to what I'm doing and run with it. And even though you're gonna fail, because you have to fail. And after you fail, you're like, okay, let me see why did I fail on this? So I won't fail it again, because sometimes we make that mistake. We fail and we try to do it again, but we're doing it again the same. Or we tweak it, but it's still the same and the same. And then you get all mad. You're like, oh, it doesn't work, and you quit. No, it does work. It's just that you haven't found a way that's the wrong. You're like, that's not the way you got to do it. You have to find out the right way. And I love bringing in entrepreneurs like that, so we can all get learn and serve others, and teach from each other and something new. And today I have Miss Jennifer Garza. And before she starts speaking, I'm gonna read her little bio, and then we can roll on, guys. Hold on a second. Let me find it here on my phone. All right. My name is Jennifer Garza, and I have 4 kids and 1 granddaughter. I work a full time job. I own the Texas Raiders, my football team, and the Texas Raiderettes dance team. I wanted to create a second chance for athletes like my son who did not have the opportunity to attend college to be able to continue playing football because of their passion and love for the game. The team has been around for 2 years, and we are a nonprofit 501c3 organization with hard work and being heavily involved in the community. We have a lot of support, which has been amazing. July 2018, we had a showcase that some CFL, Canadian Football League scouts were in attendance, as well as the NFL scouts. We added this last year the dance team, the Texas Raiderettes, which we had Raiderettes make the Houston Texans cheerleaders, and another one make the Clutch City Dancers, and our youth football team, the Third Coast Raiders, 6U, 8U, 10U, 6, 7, and 8 grade. Being a female owner in a male dominant sport is not easy, but we're a team of coaches, players, marketing events coordinators, board of directors, artists who perform at our events, and especially my we all make it happen. Very true. And nonetheless, let me bring you to Miss Jennifer Garza. How you doing, Miss Jennifer?
Good morning. I'm wonderful. And so,
Beautiful Saturday. I know it's dark outside here in Houston, getting a lot of rain. Man, it's unbelievable about that. We getting what? Some places already getting under underwater.
yes, as of yesterday, it was.
That's with this cold, the rain, the signs. But nonetheless, let's start. We got an audience already here, so I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit, and let's tell us who is Miss Jennifer Garza. I know I read your bio, but you can explain a little bit of everything, because I mean I read it and I was like, wow, I didn't even know a lot of the stuff, since I just kind of met you once because of what was his name, my
Caleb,
friend, the singer,
Caleb,
Caleb,
K-Dog. We
K Dot.
full of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Me and K Dot, I'm working on I'm gonna have his song as my intro, the Big Great song. So that's gonna be the intro on my show. So I already talked to him. So I love that song. Every time I hear it, it makes me cry, because I read what he says on it, and it hits my heart. So that's to me. So I asked, I use that for your intro. He said, go ahead, man, just tell him who it is. I'm like, for sure.
With Caleb,
But I'm gonna be quiet. So
Caleb's a wonderful person.
go ahead.
Caleb, oh my gosh, he will give you the shirt off his back. I can't even say enough great things about him. He's amazing in the schools, everything he does as an artist, as an entrepreneur, everything. Big shout out to K Dog, Caleb Johnson. He knows, man, I got much love for him. And if he ever needs anything from me, I'm there.
Yeah, man. The time when I met him, I don't know if it was Harvey. I don't know what it was. A couple of years ago, I met him in a place where we went and drop off stuff with the kids and stuff.
Mhm.
And somebody said, "Oh, this is K Dog and this is his group and everybody." And then after that, I started following him. We became friends. And when I started my show 4 years and a half, the name was different. I got him in the show too. I got to bring him back now again.
Mhm.
And I'm like, man, we started with that connection. So he has been bringing me, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to come and speak to Marshall Middle School? Do you want to speak? Because I speak to kids too." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." So it's been an amazing, with him. I know right now it's been tough for him because he's like, "Oh, I get out and all this," but he'll get back into it. I know it.
Oh, definitely. And he has a big support system, friends, family, and everybody that we're here to support him also. A funny thing,
Oh yeah.
Salem, he came because we performed, my dance team and my football team was at Dallas Cowboys Stadium. It was like one of those 2-hour games, and we played a team from Denver. So, well, actually, it was they're called the Colorado Nightmare, which is Carrie. She's another female owner of a football team up there, and we played them. And Caleb and Touch and Marcus did the halftime show on the Dallas Cowboys Stadium field. So Darius came out with Desiree and Deonce, and they came out over there to support. I love them. Big shout out to them. I love them more than life. And anything they ever need, I'm here to support them also. But yeah, about Caleb, he lit it up. Everybody just loved the fans we had there. And you talking about an amazing event. He will always, whatever event, whatever school, wherever he's at, people just gravitate and love him very much.
I know, man. He's amazing. I love him, man. I mean, since I met him and I met all these other Houston rappers, from here, Marcus Simpson, and you name it. I was amazing. Like, they're all around Lil Flip, and I met all of those people. I'm like, how am I in this group? It's like it meant to me, and all of them are doing positive stuff. So we're out there helping the kids, helping here and there, and it's like just how God puts you in places that you're like, I'm not really doing music stuff, but you don't see it, like how God puts it to you. It's not because it's you because you know how the music is bad or the bad words and nowadays. I don't want to be in these situations where shootings and this, but when you see it through what they're doing, they're like, oh man, this is not even close to what the media is putting out there. It's all different. It's that's why it's been watching a lot of media and stuff, and it gives you a lot of fear of you see something
Yeah, like I was born and raised in Pasadena, Texas. A lot of people don't know that, but yeah, I went through Pasadena. Back in my days, we walked to school in elementary and middle school. Shout out South Shavers Elementary, Queens Intermediate, Pasadena High. After that, I started working at a young age. I started working at 14, 15 years old, bought my own car, had my own apartment. I had my son, Mike, which is 26. I had him when I was 19. I had my daughter, Liz. She was at, I want to say when I was like 23, 24. And then I had my daughter, Faith, and right after that. And then my son, Carlos, which big shout out to Mr. Carlos Reyna starting his first job today. He's 16 years old. So he's in 10th grade and he's starting his first job today. So I'm very proud. All my kids, they're successful. They work hard. My youngest son, he played football from 2 years old. I'm sorry, not 2 years. He was 3. He played baseball and he was in the 4 and U under. So sports is really big in our family. He played football. He played baseball. I want to say baseball up to like 3rd grade. Then he started playing football all the way till 8th grade. So then when he got to high school, which he's only in 10th grade, he decided he was going to focus more on studies. My daughter Liz, she played softball from the age of 5. So she played softball, then she started playing tournament ball. So she was 12 years old playing with 14U girls. And then she went to college after having my granddaughter in 10th grade. She finished school, went to college, and played softball in college. So that was a big yeah, at times you find out your daughter in 10th grade's pregnant. It was a big, broke my heart. But then I love my granddaughter more than anything. She's in sports, gymnastics. She plays softball. My daughter finished school. She works hard. She works for State Farm. She's got her life together. So I'm very proud of my kids. My daughter Faith, she works hard. All of my kids. Mike works hard. And speaking of my son Mike, which is my oldest, he's the one that Cy Ranch, because we live in Cypress, they built this new school. So when they filtered in, it was 11th and 12th grade. So they didn't have a senior program like other schools where you can, get looked at in ninth and 10th grade from scouts or people, watching the football teams. But nowadays you hear of Cy Ranch, you got Keith Ford that came out of there, some other players, their baseball team won championships, the football teams made it to the playoffs, but they didn't have that opportunity. So my son started playing for the Houston Lobos, and he was like, "Oh, I'm playing for this minor semi-pro team." And I said, "Oh, what is that?" Because I was like, "What are you doing now?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, we paid to play, but we play different teams in the area." And I was like, "I didn't even know that existed." So he played for them. And then eventually it was like, me and some other people had talked about it. And we were like, why don't we start a team and get that going, give guys another opportunity. So then it came up the Texas Raiders. And so we were 1 year in semi-pro. We played with it was the DTFA. After my first, like, we had to host a game. It was 3 games, and it was 3 different teams. We had to rent the stadium for the whole day. I had Michael Watts come out. Shout out Michael Watts, good friend of mine, came out and he DJ'd. I had a lot of vendors out there, and after that, the league folded. So I was just like, oh no, it's like, now what do we do? So we jumped into the Craffle. So we started playing in there, and it was like, okay, my team, we won like 2 games. It's a first season. Everybody's like, you got bumps and bruises you're going to go through, learning curves, And so I was like, okay, well, I didn't really like it. It's no offense to the semi-pro world. I was just like, why don't we go do something different? I've always been about doing things different. So we joined the GDFL. Shout out to Charles Thompson, the Gridiron Developmental Football League. My good friend David Payne, which is what you saw the CFL with the BC Lions, he was like, hey, look into this, And I said, okay. So we joined the GDFL. We were the only team that represented Texas. But when it came up, a lot of the guys played spring. This league was in summer. So they crossed over. So we had a lot of issues. Guys had to finish out their season over here in spring league. So that left us traveling to Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, wherever we had to go with a limited amount of players. So it really didn't go that well in a sense. Yes, we won some games, but in my eyes, it could have been better, but it was a learning curve. So it was just, and then with the dance team, Dominique Charisse, she's the dance instructor. Awesome. I was trying to get her on, and she's been out of town, but that woman there is phenomenal. She took the dance team. When we had tryouts, we had Maya from the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders that was a judge. Danielle, who was a former Houston Texans cheerleader, her dad, who coaches the Olympic team, he does the Olympic team. And I want to say it was in some type of throwing balls, something. I'd have to look it up. But we had a panel of judges that judged the girls, and we had a great turnout. So with long hours of, they would practice. We did a lot of community events. We did the Harris County Police. We did back to school drives. We did the tug of war with kids with disabilities, Toys for Tots. Shout out to Legends Bar and Grill over there in Missouri City, Xavier and Anna. They let us use their place anytime we needed it to do any special events. And we also, back to the dance team, once we picked the team, I have a big heart. That's my problem at times. So Dominique, we had the dance team and we had the street team. So our street team went to all the events and we were going to have them move up to the next level to the girls that were the cheerleaders, once they got better at it. But I didn't want to see anybody, in a sense, get cut. So we created that. They went to our events that we had. And they even showed up at the 7U's football team, their games. They went out there and supported them, and which they went to the championship game. Shout out to David Vidal, Kenneth Wayne on the Third Coast Raiders. But it's been a journey. It's been interesting. Rayana tried out for the Houston Texans. She made the cheerleading squad. Jacqueline also tried out. She was a finalist, but the way the system works, it goes on voting. So Jacqueline barely missed it. Jade and Morgan, they made the Clutch City dance, the Rockets. But I think Morgan more was into being a cheerleader. So she has tryouts for the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. And then Jade, she's with the Clutch City Rockets dancers. So it was a proud moment. I know Dominique, she works hard with them, and I give all credit to her. I give all credit to anybody that does anything. I take no credit. It was her, because I don't know how to dance. But yeah, she's an amazing person, and I'm looking forward for the stuff we have coming up in the future. I'm gonna talk your ear off.
Man, that's amazing. Because I did. Yeah, I saw everything. When we were actual middle school, and I was like, "Oh, this is Raider," and I started, following you, and I was like, it's like this is amazing. That you were saying you were helping and doing all these things for the community, and that's the thing that it's supposed to be. As community, as all of us together helping each other out.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough, because not a lot of people see it that way. I want to help, and then when you start seeing the money or this, people change because of money. I'm like, oh man, I have got better standards. No, I see it now. That hero, you have millions. You. You were there for a reason. God created you. If He's gonna give it all of it to you, but He knows why, because you have that heart. He's like, man, I have all this money. I'm gonna have help the community, create foundations, create this, and the more you have, it's more options that you can do. That's what people sometimes like. Oh, Jesus, no, you want to have all this money? Yeah, but it's not want to be greedy or get me a badass house or a badass car. No, it's like with it, I can help more, man. I can create the foundation that I want to create. I can help kids. I can buy food for other people. I can do many things as being humble than what you think, because that's what the mindset is. You have a lot of money. You're different. You're gonna be you're not gonna do things you do before. And I know there's people that happens to them, but when you have a heart, you're like, no man, I want to help, even if I and I turned out to have $100 in the bank account. Your heart is like, man, I helped. All the money went for helping. Man, I'm happy.
Exactly. And community, I'm going to go back to the team hadn't even played a game yet, and Harvey hit. And we were out right away going and getting trucks and saving people, and we started with the cleanup, and we did a lot of that with Harvey, and that's how my team got noticed. Ricky Travis, shout out to Ricky, a great realtor. He's Better Homes and Gardens. He has been one of our biggest sponsors that has helped us out through everything, and we appreciate and love Ricky and his wife Angie. Anything, they've always been there for us. And big shout out to Julio. He created towels, our posters, our banners. He's with Top Dogs.
Uh,
So we had rally towels. We had footballs. Oh, you remember when you were there? We had the little footballs. We had the posters. The guys and the girls would sign. Julio,
yeah.
all of that for us. So I appreciate him. And like I said, Legends Bar and Grill, Xavier and Anna for always letting us use their place when we needed to do Toys for Tot drives or anything. You know, they were always so supportive. Oscar and Brandy, they because I'm not music, and Oscar De La Cruz and Brandy De La Cruz, who is one of my great friends, and they introduced me to Just Touch. And Touch, I mean, it was like our bond right away. I called him and I was like, hey, I'm doing this and that. And he was there. No questions asked, nothing. If you ever need him, he's another one that's just like Caleb. Man, I love Just Touch so much. He's got great music. He's always been there for me whenever I've ever needed him. You know, he performed also at Dallas Cowboy Stadium. He's performed at my games. He performed actually with Michael Watts, was DJing at my halftime show in Pearland. Anytime I've ever needed him, he's been there. Big shout out to Just Touch. If y'all don't know, his music is amazing. He's awesome. Shout out to the Special Olympic cheerleaders. They performed with us at our home game when we played Oklahoma. Rebecca and all of them. I mean, it's just, you say you have family. Like my kids are my family and my grandbaby. I also have a stepson. He's older than my Z3, and then my other step grandbaby Calvin. So you know, we all support each other. We look out for each other. My sister, Sherry, like my whole family. My dad would come down and go to Dallas Cowboys Stadium. I made his dream come true of being able to attend a. It wasn't the cow. Well, I did also send him to a Dallas Cowboys game, but he got to step on the star and take a picture. He's a big Cowboys fan. But he, you know,
Man,
that's my goal in life, is if I can do anything for my family. And like I said, Touch, Darius, Calum, Rob V, Brian Angel's a good friend that he's, you know, he keeps me going at times when I'm down. He's like, keep pushing, keep your head up. Chosen, I was in a video with Chosen and I met Cuban Diva Angela. You know, she played my daughter in the music video. And I mean, Marcus, Lady Nate.
Angela's cool.
Yeah, so you know all of them. K Nate, Omar, Kinfolk, all of them.
Yeah,
Sierra, Rob V, I love them all. Anytime we need each other for anything. And I'm not music. I don't know the first thing, but they've put me in their music videos. I've been in 3, and Robbie's and Omar Champagne. I've been in Chosen's, and you know, I think Touch wanted me, but I was like, no. It was his Candy Kisses. I was like, no, because I try to stay in the background, and I'm not about the spotlight. Like I said, this is the first interview I've done. I'm more focused on the dance team, focus on the coaches, focus on them, because for me, I don't do this for me. I don't gain anything from it at all, and anybody will tell you that. I did it to help athletes get a second chance. I know Marvin Jones, shout out to Marvin. Alonzo Highsmith, I've just came in touch with, shout out to Alonzo. I think he became friends on here. And a big, huge shout out to my friend in Las Vegas, Bert Tabor. Bert Tabor has been an angel on my shoulder. He's the one that got the Vegas, I know, don't be mad, the Oakland Raiders to go to Vegas. So he's been helping with all of that. He's been asking me to come to Vegas for 3 years. But Harvey hit the one. I said, Bert, I have to stay here and help. I have to help my community and I have to help people. So, and then he's trying to get me out there now to go tour the stadium so that I can see it. And he got me connected. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm going to introduce you. He actually introduced me to Bob Golick. I know Bob Golick. He's had Willie Galt. He's had Lawrence Taylor, Moreland Greenwood. I'm trying to think of the other guys he's connected me with. And then because of him, I met Marvin, Tom Bratton, and Duncan Anderson, and all these other wonderful and amazing coaches that I'm going to look to work with in the future. But yeah, Brian Wiggins, also a big shout out to Brian Wiggins. He played with the Dallas Cowboys. Sorry, Bree, talking about the Cowboys. But he owns the women's football team, the Houston Energy. I don't know if you've heard of the Houston Energy women's football. There's actually women's football also. And me and B, we've been talking, and we have some community events we're going to be doing. And we're going to be working together and do, I'm giving you a little glimpse, but it's going to be called Battle of the Sexes. So you're going to see a little, see if the women can beat the men, and a little football action. And we're going to make it like a day for kids to come out and toss the football toss. And we'll have some stuff going on, because people know when I do stuff, I do it kind of big, and we'll get some people, some celebs out there, get some stuff going. And also, I know B knows a lot of people, Brian knows a lot of people, so we're working on some things that we're going to be doing. But we're going to be heavily involved in the community. I want to get I was talking to Dominique, I want to get the dance team up and going again as soon as this is all over, getting the assisted living. I think that's so important, because, and I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but a lot of times we forget about the elderly and the people that are in nursing homes or assisted living. And I feel those are our parents. Those are our four founding, men and women that without them, a lot of us wouldn't be on this earth. So we're going to be doing some things for them, some children's hospitals, some shelters. I'm big on domestic abuse. And so I'm going to get involved a lot with women and children. So we're going to get that going. We're starting, because my grandbaby is going to be 7 in June. We're starting the youth, the little Raiderettes. It'll be for underprivileged children.
Ooh.
So we're going to be doing that. There'll be little cheerleaders, and then we'll have our dance team. And then we're looking to do high school also, but me and Dom are going to sit down and talk about that and keep kids out of trouble, and keep them going and keep them motivated, working in the community, and seeing what we can do. Now, a little bit, I wanted to talk about,
Yeah, especially.
yeah, you can go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, a lot of people don't know also is that the Texas Raiders, I'll say me, because I've gotten 5 players jobs that work at my job. My son was one, Coop, Marcus, Britton, Carlos, we got them jobs whenever they didn't have any, so we try to help in the position of getting the young adults, also to getting them jobs, to getting them to college. Big shout out to Pro Player Sports Management, Michael Hayes. He's an agent that has helped me at times, get players to go to different combines, or, work close with the CFL, the NFL, the XFL folded, but he was working with them also close. So, I give a big shout out. The people I tagged, a lot of them have influenced me positively, either past, present, or I'm hoping to work with them in the future. And like I said, I'm always one that's going to show love all the time. I show my appreciation, I show my love, and everybody knows the type of person I am. I'm always here if they need me. Sometimes I might fall off the Facebook or
That,
a little bit because I'm working and with my family, but other than that, they know I'm just a phone call away.
that's a good thing, when you have somebody out there, it's all about the connections. I always say, man, because everybody has connections, everybody has resources, and sometimes you just want to keep those, and you're like, no, those are mine. I got them. I'm like, no, for what? I mean, if I can, I know somebody needs help on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever, or I know somebody that knows how to play piano. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna send them. I'm gonna use my resources and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna talk to them first, and then I'm gonna let them know that you need some help, and then boom, send them. And I've been doing that a lot with everybody in the show. Like I have a couple other people that I connected them with a couple of other people, and they're like texting me back, and they were like, "Oh, thank you, I already called them, and then now we're talking about doing a project." That makes me happy. I don't know. That's just me. Other people, I was like, "No, why are you helping them?" Like, I mean, it's me. I mean, I'm doing it because I have a heart. I'm humble. I'm trying to help them. You never know when I need that help on the road or on a couple of months. And be like, hey, you remember when you helped me? I see that you're struggling here. I can help you now. I see it that way
Mhm.
because as we much help, you never know, we might need it. On the road, you're gonna find those people you help, and they're probably already being very successful, or whatever they're doing, they're like, man, I remember 5 years ago. Let me give you my hand. Let me help you because I'm here because you gave me some ideas, and I'm here at the top because not only because of you, but other people that helped me through. But I want to help you.
Yep. And like with the Special Olympic cheerleaders, when they perform with us, I mean, I would love to start a division for them with the Raiderettes. And I'm gonna talk to Dom about it and talk to them about it and get that and do with that. Becca Boo, I think she's watching, doesn't know this, but she played softball. So I made a surprise visit out there to their practice, but it was canceled. She doesn't know this because I didn't want to make her sad. But I do little things at times, I was going to watch her pitch. She was a pitcher. She'd always like, oh, I'm pitching, doing all this. And that's what I love. That's what I love. And I was just like, oh man, I was asking her, oh, she's like, the practice got canceled. And I could see her, like her and some other people, like in a distance, but I was like, I don't want to go disappoint, and her be, oh, she didn't get to see me pitch or didn't get to see me play. So then I was just like, okay, I'll do it another time. But then their season got canceled. So I was just like, oh, I try to do different things. And then she made a shout out video for us. And she just loves the Raiderettes. She loves Dominique. I love them so much and I love her. And I just want to do things to help people. And speaking of that, I'm only one person. Yes, we have people like Ricky,
Mhm.
and Ricky's there, but everybody, like especially now with the epidemic going on, and people fall on hard times. So being a 501c3, when people, so we're nonprofit. So nonprofit, if people don't know, you get a tax deduction on your taxes. But it also is that we're giving back to the community. We did a back to school drive where we collected notebooks, we collected backpacks, we collected all kinds of different things, and we gave back to the community. We're big on bullying. Um, my linemen, which one of them is my son Mike, and then Coop, they would go to school. They didn't weren't there at that particular one. James was there when we were at the one, but we would go to schools. We would go to the Unlimited program, which is older people with disabilities. And I know one time my grandbaby was having issues with somebody bullying her, and they're like, Janelle, we're going to eat lunch with you. We're big on that. We're working on some bullying videos, some other things to come out. It's going to be really good. I'm big on I'm big on that kind of stuff. I don't like to see it. I don't deal with it well. When you see it, I don't deal with domestic violence. I don't deal with bullying. I don't deal with any of these things nowadays. And I'm just here to do what I can with the limited time I am on earth. I've done my job in being a great mother because my kids are all amazing. They're all doing what they need to do in life. My grandbaby, she's amazing. And my grandson and my son Z3, they're all amazing. So I've done my job with them. If there's something, and my kids have always, I'm like, oh, mom was gone every weekend. She was gone. I was gone nights for meetings, 3 times a week meetings. Oh, we need to meet with you. And my kids go. And I said, should I just give it up? I'm not here with y'all all the time I need to be. And they said, no, mom, we support you. We're behind you. Go. And they've been very, very supportive. And I appreciate and I love them for that because at times, you know, um, being a single mom also, a lot of people don't understand it's hard working a job. And then here I was at every practice. I took them water. I was at every event. I was at every meeting. I was at every single thing. So my time, I was like, I was exhausted. And people are like, I don't know how you do it. Traveling to Dallas. I was the first team. And if anybody else can say that a team from New York, shout out to Anthony Biondo, the Long Island, they're from New York. Eagles came down and played us for St. Jude's. So that was the first time a New York team that I know of or anybody has spoke of that they came down to travel down this way. And he'll probably tell us a pretty good experience. It was freezing cold, but I mean, it was a great game. We lost, but they won. Shout out to them. But, it was a good game, but it was for a great cause. So it's just, a lot of work, and I've taken a break for a little bit, gone through some things. My nephew drowned last year. He was 2 years old. and then my grandma passed away, and then went through some trials and tribulations in life and had to take a break. I thank God we didn't play spring this year because everything's halted this year. The XFL folded, so it's a lot of different things. So just got to get prepared, get mindset, get coaches in line, get stuff. Big shout out to my boy Joe Nixon. He was with Saskatchewan CFL. Me and him been talking, see what he can do about coming on and helping with the team, and some other people. A lot of people have my back. Like I said, Bert's one of them in Vegas, and I really appreciate him always being there, pushing me in the right direction and keeping me straight, because it's not easy. At times, I'm just like, I can just live my life. I can live my life, and I can go to Vegas, go to Hawaii, go do different things on my own instead of wasting my own money to pay for football, And then I'm just like, but it's the bigger of the cause. It's what am I doing it for? To help young adults achieve their goal in life of maybe getting to that next level because that's what they want.
That's true. That's true. That's how when I was like looking forward, like what am I gonna do? What am I here on earth? When I started waking up, I was like, with my story and everything. I have a little daughter, and she's 7, and she's about to turn 8 on July, and all of it was because of her, because of my story with her. So I, going through different paths, trials and tribulations, and asking questions, just like you were, and like what, like God, what is it? And to just recently, that last year, he just was throwing me signs and here and there, and sometimes that's what I understand, that God throws everybody signs, but sometimes you're like, nah, I don't think, we just don't get it. We're like, I don't think that's what I'm supposed to do. Or should I do it? The fear, or what if, and I was like, into, I just kind of, like you said, you have to focus, you have to kind of breathe in, breathe out. And I started seeing the signs correctly. And I was like, whoa, this is what he wants me to do. This is what I need to do around here, and I've been doing a lot of things with kids. I've been working at a daycare for 4 years or 5 years, and I've been having other jobs that they say I go and there will be more, but somehow I couldn't do it. It's like in my heart, I said I have a mission with the kids, and from all the daycares, this is what I saw. Every time I left the daycare and I went to a new one, the parents wouldn't want me to leave. They're like, no, you can't leave. The kids love you. They will give me their numbers. They will invite me to their places. And then to the second and the third daycare that I saw the sign. I was like, okay, this is something that God wants me to do for the kids. He wants me to push myself and do new things. And I started, going within myself and seeing what can I do. And I was like, man, you know what? Into this year, this is what I want to do as a project that I'm working, that I want to lift it up already. It's like I want to help the kids how to be kidpreneurships, uh, having that seat on them, and so if they want to be a businessman, a businesswoman as a young age, they have that in their mindset, like they want to keep on going to school later on, or they want to do a book or whatever they want to do. They have that seed in here. And I said, I want to push that to them. I want to teach that to them, especially now when everybody's virtual and doing them. It's like, I want to do that. I want to teach the kids from the age of 6 all the way to 15, 14, and having that seat. And I'll be happy for them, that, like you were saying, is for the community, helping them. I don't want to be like me and you turn 80 or 90, and then our kids are living under the bridge. Our kids are, broke. They can't, pay the rent and this and that. I don't want to see that. I want to have that help them and push that to them, create a platform for them later on. Hey, you have a platform to speak, you have a platform to do this. You can be the next president, the next CEO of McDonald's, but you gotta take this path and teach them the ways that we're getting it. That school is not gonna teach you. School is not gonna teach you how to earn money, how to use your money, how to invest your money. They're not teaching you that. Who's teaching that to our kids? That has to be us. And I see when I ask questions to parents, they're not doing it. I don't know why parents are afraid to teach their kids. They just want to push them and be like, we don't want them at home. Just let the teachers teach them. But at school, they're not getting taught that. They're getting taught just books and this and that. They're not getting taught the real life, how to make some eggs, how to clean your bed. They're not learning that. And us as parents, we're like, we're thinking of us when we were little, and that's something, everything took time. Like you were saying, our elderly, they're the ones that open up. They were not here, we wouldn't be here for them, but they were in an era that was different. We were in an era where, it was okay. Now we're in a different era that it's just different with, technology. So we're trying to base everything on elderly, on our era, but it can't be that way. We have to make sure that we can teach them a little bit of other eras, but teach them where we at now, and push them, and let them fly, let them be free, because this is what we're trying to do. Keep them right here. Oh no, it's my, he gets hurt. Oh, he's bleeding just a little. Oh, my baby. No, man, you gotta let him. I remember when I was little, I know you do too. When you fall bleeding, you still got up and you still kept on playing. I remember that.
We just dusted
And
it.
nowadays I see the kids.
We just
Yeah, and now I see the kids.
in Spanish being we're Hispanic, it's like that. Get back up. That's not bad. It was like, okay, we're all bleeding
No,
and blood. I'll fix it for you later. And this, I still, yes, I definitely know that.
it's
It is.
crazy. And I see the kids now. They get hurt just a little and they're already crying. And I tell them my story. Man, dude, I fall out of my bike without the wheel sits, because I didn't want the wheel sits. I said, I'm gonna learn without the wheel sits, and I'll fall and bleed and cry. And I was like, all right, I gotta get up again. And now they get a little hurt, or like you said, something they said to them like they didn't like, and they start crying and crying and crying. I was like, man, what are we living like? These kids, we gotta let them fly. We gotta let them get hurt. We gotta let them have their own experiences as parents. Yes, we know that there's bad people out there. Yes, we know that there's strangers, but that's been a long time since we were little too. But we gotta let them learn themselves. We gotta let them fly. Like, if they want to play soccer, let them play soccer. And if they don't want to play soccer because they didn't really like it, don't be mad at them. They tried it, they like it. So what? Now let them go to the next experience. I know we're wasting money and paying for that, but I don't see it as wasting money. I see it as them learning. But us as parents, we get mad. Oh man, I was wasted all this money and you didn't do soccer. I'm like, no, I'll be happy and tell them, all right, son, or daughter, good, good. You learn what you learn. I mean, this is not for you. That's fine. What's your next step? Do you want to go karate? Do you want to go do this? We gotta change the way we ask, the way we, step up, so they can see us as more leaders, not as down down them. And this and that, and this and that, and then we're complaining how they act at school or how they act here. That's because of our fault, because of how we doing it at home, and that's something that we gotta change. And I know we won't be able to change a lot of parents, but it'll
Mhm.
be good if we change at least some of them, and get them straight and let them know, hey, man, we all have kids. Let them fly.
But you notice you said all physical activities, soccer, karate, outside. Nowadays, a lot of the kids are on the gaming systems, the Xboxes, the PlayStations. They learn a lot because I know, because my son, my 16-year-old, has a 26 and a 27-year-old. So, back in the days when he was younger, his older brothers played video games because, there was PlayStation 1, Xbox, and they had the Grand Theft Auto or different things. So they pick up a lot of stuff on that also. So if they're outside, staying busy, staying active, it helps out also. And that's one thing I was
Hmm.
gonna say is that I was gonna tell you a funny story real quick. When I was a kid, like you were talking about, I was right. I lived in Pasadena. Behind me was a bayou, so me and my brother, we were riding our bikes because we didn't play video games. We were always outside. As soon as we got home, we did chores and we were outside. We were scared of our mom. So I was riding my bike on the bios. They have the little part where it's grass and then it's concrete, then it goes down into the concrete. So I'm riding. I slid all the way down into the water in the bayou. I was all full of seaweed. I was all full of water, everything. And I get home and they're like, "Why are you wet? What's wrong with you?" I'm sweating. I was scared because I knew I was going to be in trouble. Hey, I was sweating. They're like, "But you got seaweed in your hair." They knew I was fibbing, but I was just like, I didn't want to get in trouble. Nowadays, when you were speaking of kids, they don't care. There's no consequences. And when we think about family, you think about consequences. Like the football team, you don't show up at practice, you might not start in that game or play. So there's consequences. And for older men, because the team is 18 and up, mostly you have your 22, because most of the kids are in college except for some that didn't go. So you're looking at 23-year-old men. So if you have to be accountable and be at practice and be at games on Saturday night, it saves a lot of things of, we know there's bad apples everywhere. So let's say my son has some bad apples and they're trying to convince him, hey, let's go rob a store, or let's go do this, or let's go do that. And they get into a fight or a shooting or something happens. There's no going back from that. If we create here, like we've been trying to do, keeping people out of trouble, keeping them focused, disciplined. Hey, if I don't do this, I'm going to get in trouble. And when you hang around with positive people and you hang around people with different mindsets, you start to mold into that type of mindset. So that's why I say it's so important with hitting the younger generations and hitting the middle age, I say, in their 20s, maybe early 30s, getting them to be focused and learning how to be more mature in a man. It's not always about partying, it's not always about drinking, it's not always about smoking or doing any of that. There's other things that the future holds. Family, we always were considered a family no matter what, from me all the way coaches to the dance team. We were one, we were a family, and we hold each other accountable for different things. So and that's why I was saying it's so important with this time and age, like me and you were talking. They've taken Christ out of schools. So back in my days, we said the Lord's Prayer, we got pops. It wasn't the way it is now. We acted up. Our Coach Gamble and Queens Intermediate, he would bend us over and we get pops for acting up. So it is a different time. And a lot of people, like we spoke of too, their parents do not care. So as they're growing up, they don't know the difference, or all they know is, hey, I've had my homeboys or my homegirls around all this time, so that's who my family is. And because they choose to go down this path versus this path, or if they chose to do this or that, that's all they know. So you can't really blame them. So that's why we try to go, and that's why it's so important. I want to get into the shelters and talk to them about things. We actually Keontae, one of my players, we went to it was in Conroe, and it was like it's a kind of like a juvenile prison. And yeah, it's one out there where they stay there. There's like a prison in the back, but then they school them during the day. And they can go home at night, I think, but some have to stay there. So he had went to talk to them about, hey, I was here with y'all, and look at me now. I got a family, I'm playing football, I've changed. So with that right there, that shows you, the transition, that you can always go and you can change, and you can go back and give your experiences. Like with James, also, when we were at that school event, he talked about, I don't know if you remember, when he was talking to the kids about his life growing up, it wasn't great. So he relied on football. That was his outlet. So, with all the sports, whether it be golf, whether it be softball, basketball, football, whatever it is, soccer, if there's an outlet that they have, then they can express themselves and be free for that time before they have to go back to this other, life. But then, it's just, with me, it hits home because I've been through it all. I've seen it all. I've been through it all. I live a very private life. Like I really just stay to myself. I never wanted to be the one that talked about the team or all that. I always let everybody else. And they'll tell you, they're like, she don't really talk. She lets everybody else talk. We would go to an interview and I'd have everybody, David with the Little Raiders. I'd have Dominique talking. I'd have Coach Ham talking, or whoever talking. It wasn't me. It's just because I'm very passionate. I'm very emotional about the team, about everybody succeeding, getting somewhere, doing something with their life, and doing something with the self. Because then I can honestly say that it was worth it.
Oh yeah, and it's good that we're doing this, and even though like the COVID-19 and we're here, I mean, we'll get out of it. We'll it's gonna, like I said, it's a new world. It's gonna be different. We have to kind of adapt when everything, it's just like everybody's out there again. It's gonna be crazy because I see, like events, how a lot of people are there, how speaking events, and like I used to go speak and stuff, and like, no speaking events, or you want to go see a singer, that's a lot of people. So I'm like, man, I ask myself, how are we gonna, how is that gonna happen? The community, how we, go out there and speak to the kids, and there's a lot of kids. How is it gonna be? I'm like, and sometimes I'm like, however it is, God, is still here with us. His hand is on the earth healing. So however it's gonna change or be, we're still gonna be there. We're still gonna create and help somebody out there and make sure that they succeed. Because I want everybody to succeed. Everybody, no matter where you at, so they won't go to the wrong path. And if they do go to that wrong path, I mean, at least we were in their ear. We're like, oh man, I don't want to do this anymore. I mean, I know somebody put this seed on my. I really want to go that way. This is not taking me nowhere. This is violence, so stuff like that. That's what I want to do. That at least they got that seed on their mind, so that they can know that somebody actually put that. Because if they don't have no seed and that's the only thing they know, like we were talking about, they were around their homies, their homeboys, their parents didn't care. They're just gonna roll that way, and they're never gonna have nothing here, nobody that try to help them or push them out there. And then that's how this chaos, and then there's the gunshots, the violence, the drugs, and you see it when we're being at home right now. There's none of that. I mean, the schools are closed and all of this lead accidents. The earth is cleaning by itself because, I mean, not a lot of pollution going out there. So I'm like, okay, it needed to be, this is like a, a, a stop, that it had to happen, even it has to roll out of the 2020 with us being like this. But it's a lot of changes, a lot of a readaptation of business and communities. Then it is what it is, man. Maybe, like I said, it's like a punishment of God telling us, man, I didn't do this, I didn't do that for a long time. It boom, there it is.
Mm.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
There's your plate.
Yep.
Figure it out.
Yep. And I, speaking on that, you made me think. Um, I've seen a lot of things recently because people are stuck inside. If somebody knows or sees, we need to pay attention. There's a lot of kids that have abusive parents and they're stuck in the homes with them right now. There's women that are stuck in homes with abusive husbands, boyfriends, maybe girlfriend, whoever. Please, if we see something going on, because not everybody pays attention, and human trafficking, especially for these young girls, they're easily manipulated by these dating apps, by these snapchats, by all this stuff. Let's pay attention and help each other out as a in the world, actually, because that's one thing. Human trafficking is big on my heart. Seeing all these kids getting killed or hurt because they're with abusive parents, and school was their outlet. What was it? The Gabriel Flores. I watched that documentary, and that was very, very sad that at school they knew and they called and called and called, and they never did anything to help this kid. And, it's just, I've been through it, I've seen it, I know it exists. And a lot of these times the law enforcement people can't do it, can't do anything. And I just really, I hope everybody just please pay attention to the young, pay attention to, watch out for human trafficking. If you see something that looks unnormal, whatever, it's better to be safe than sorry. I'm sorry. If it's somebody that was kidnapped or somebody that's being doing things that shouldn't be done, or these kids, if you see bruises or things on them on their head or something, you might be their last chance at life. Just please pay attention. And just look for signs. The heat comes again, dogs, kids left in cars. It's so many things. Just please pay attention to your surroundings, because you never know who you can help or you be a voice for.
Oh yeah. And it's sad. You were saying about the cars,
Mhm,
the kids in there. That's every time I heard that, here in Houston, like, oh, I'm like,
mhm.
how you gonna forget your kids, man? I'm like, that's because they're focusing on their phone.
Yeah.
That's it. You're driving, you stop, and you're like, oh yeah, yeah, and you're like, okay, and then you get out, and you're like, totally forgot that you had your kid. But how are you gonna, even when I have my daughter with me, she's not here with me. But when I had her and I was with her and I checked my phone, I never forgot that she was behind. I know she was there. So I was like, how these people,
Well,
is your own blood. How are you gonna forget somebody and go and then they're dead? And now you're like, oh my God. Well, there you go. So, oh my God.
yeah, my best friend, she lives in Gainesville and she works for the women's shelter out there. And so many times I want to say, women and men, if you're getting abused, you're worth it. You never have to go through being abused ever. Don't ever let somebody tell you you're not worth it. You'll never make it, because you will. If anybody ever wants to talk to me, anybody ever wants to get a hold of me, if you just need to talk or if you need a friend, if you're going through something, please don't hesitate to call me. I got some big football players that can go and get you out of the place that you live. I'll even go. I don't care. If you need help, please don't ever hesitate to reach out. Don't ever be embarrassed. Don't ever be scared. Don't ever don't ever feel like you're not worth it. And it's easier to stay in a relationship. I got people that can help. Like I said, my friend works, June, she works at the women's shelter, and she says so many times these women come in with the kids, and they go back just because they'd rather deal with abuse, and that breaks my heart, because nobody deserves that. And like I said, I'm here honestly. Anybody knows I always answer my phone. It might not be a number, just if you don't text me, so I'll know, because I don't know numbers, I don't usually answer. But Facebook, Instagram, my name's Jennifer Garza. You can find me. If not, the Texas Raiders 2K18 on Instagram, Texas Raiderettes on Instagram, Facebook, Texas Raiders of Northwest Houston. If you just want to text me, you can send me a Facebook message, Jennifer Garza, and I'll give you my number. I'm here. I just don't want to see anybody suffer, get hurt, or anything happen to anybody. I love and care for everybody. Like, and I know some people know this. About 2 weeks ago, two adult dogs were attacking my puppy, and he's about 3 months old. And when we had got him, he had gone through had some broken legs, and he had went through abuse. So when these dogs are basically, I'm not trying to be graphic, but were ripping him apart, I freaked out. I went outside, I started hitting the dogs, and then I used my body to cover him. So I'm healing now, but like my whole here bites, my legs, my arms, my fingers, my finger has no feeling, but they said it wasn't broken, so it was a good thing. But I didn't think, I just reacted. And this was a puppy,
Yeah,
So I mean, it's just, I love life. I love everybody, and I'll go to bat for you 100%.
that's good. You just reacted, that's good.
Everybody's
It's the
like,
same with me. I don't know. I feel it like,
yeah, everybody's
I
like,
know.
this. Like, I just didn't
But
want
I mean,
more.
it sounds crazy, but I mean, it's a dog, but it's a human. It's alive. It's like you have heart for it. I mean, we have two puppies, and sometimes I'm like, oh man, it's like they're part of you. Like if it was your brother or your sister,
Oh
that
no,
you're
I
defending
used
your
my whole
defend.
body, because I jumped over him, and then I was like trying to hit them off. But yeah, so he's recovering, I'm recovering, and like he just, when I get home, he's like the greatest thing. Come here. But his name, I call him
Little man.
Little Man.
And then soon
And
he's
this is my
gonna be
baby.
big man.
He's got his hoodie on because he's still got all his pores and everything, but he's doing good. He's alive.
Grandma,
And
That's
there's
then
good.
And then this is my baby. This is my granddaughter Janelle.
he's
That's
like
a
Hi,
I,
good
Janelle.
one.
I put him
But yeah, that's my baby. I just sprung into action.
Crazy. But I mean, those are the moments, the stories and stuff that you tell her that she's 7, and then when she grows up and she has kids, be like, hey, one time I was in the video, and my grandma got saved the dog. Those are stories that are gonna live forever. That's why I tell people stories are beautiful. Any stories that you tell the kids, that the kids sponges, they'll remember when they grow up. They're gonna tell in those stories.
Well, I
It's
called my
beautiful. It's life. Like,
I was crying. I was a mess. And my daughter Liz, I called her. I was like, I tried calling Mike. I tried calling Carlos. And I called Liz, and I'm like, and she's like, oh my god, she thought someone had died. The way I looked, the way everything was, and I said, the puppy. She goes, oh my gosh. I mean, she understood, but she's like, Mom, I thought somebody passed away. She said I was so emotional because I thought he was gonna die, and that broke my heart because I did everything I could to try to save his life. And but yeah, now thinking about it, it's like, yes, it was traumatic. I had to go to the hospital. The EMS came, the cops came, but I was just like, now I can laugh on it, but it's like at that moment, it was very traumatic. The Jen's out wobbling like out in the backyard, and it's muddy and everything. So yeah, that was fun.
oh man, that's crazy. Man. But I mean, I mean, you can tell the audience. I mean, we still have a couple audience where, I mean, you already said it, but where they can find you or anything, any questions, just let them inbox you. I mean, any questions or anything that we can help. I mean, yeah, can inbox me. I now can, I was like, man, I hope, not hope, but when everything gets a little bit, we can, try to do something for the kids, me, Kayla, like
Oh,
we
definitely.
did for the school, for the middle school, for the bullying, because I know I speak for the bullying for the G boys too, for Miss Tanya G. I did a lot for them too. And with this, I mean, I missed the every year we talk for the bullying for the kids, and I've been the speaker for it. So something like, create something. I know we can do that, create Kalon with the music and stuff, even if it's not a lot of kids because of the COVID, but it's an impact, and we can have it as and a video to impact and show it to everybody that even though you're at home, like you were saying, violence and this, you can still get help. Don't silence yourself, because if you do, it won't be possible that the next day you won't be there, you're dead or something happened. So
Hmm.
never do that. Never silence. Get that fear out. Get help.
I
Get
got.
out,
I
even if
talked.
you have to.
Yep. No, you're right. You're exactly right. I talked to Calum already about my idea for the bullying video, so I'll definitely let you know. Because he was gonna be and my football players, and I have a great concept, a great idea of doing it, and then I'll let you know so that way we can get you involved in it also.
Yeah, and we can because I know I was talking to another teacher about we're trying to nobody's doing this. I was like, man, we're trying to help the kids, and from my podcast, I've been doing it for 4 or 5 years. Like, why don't we? I know I'm still gonna do this, bring in entrepreneurs, but turn it into a different podcast for just for kids. Kids empowering kids helping other kids, stuff like that, and have a podcast. Their boys, ask let them we us know what their story, even though they're 8 or 10, they have their own stories. That would be a pretty good podcast, and have maybe two guests, two kids, talking to each other, their ideas, and throwing it out there. People will love that, maybe, because we gotta, build that community for them, because you never know, one of them be like, hey, I want to have my own podcast. How can I do it? And we can help them. You don't have to speak. You need this little mic and this, and you're good to go. That's how I did it.
Yep.
When I started, I didn't even know what it was. I went to Amazon and bought a mic and this, and then when I Amazon delivered it to me those 4 or 5 years ago, I was like, okay, what do I do now? I was like, I already took action, of buying this stuff. But like, what do I do now? I don't know how to reach to people, how to, tell them to be on the show. So that was something that I started learning from myself, reading, and I said, oh, okay, let me build an audience, let me build relationships. So I started building relationships first. I never went and asked them, hey,
Mhm.
you want to be on the show? And no, I kind of build relationship, talk to them, and I saw them in events. And then later on, I'll be like, hey, you know what? I started a podcast. Is it fine if I can have you here, and boom, I have a couple of questions. Because before I had questions, it was just like we'll start and I have like 10 questions and I'll ask the questions and you repeat it. So it was more scripted. Into later on, the audience said, no, it's better if you have storytelling. Just go at it without no script. So it's better because it comes from your heart and it comes out from what you are now. When it's written, it's like I gotta say, what I have written from yesterday, but then there won't be no more time, because the time you see when we're already in an hour, you're like, man, I want to talk about something else. You're like, but it's already been an hour because that's what the show is about 30 in an hour. So I'm like, let's just go storytelling, unscripted, and just whatever you have from there, you go at it. And people love that. They're like, oh, that's awesome. Wow. Because they'll be like, they live in the car for so many years and now they're rich. Wow. So that, they started knowing the back end, not just the forward, because they see that, oh, you got the Lamborghini, you got this. Well, how did you get to that? How did you get through that? That's why people sometimes hate the rich, and people are like, you don't know what they went through. You don't know their story. They live here. They were eating ramen noodles for years with their kids living in the car or no apartment. And then they didn't give up. And then look where they're at now. So we give that, that feels the audience like, man, if they did that, they lived in a car. I'm like, I'm living in an apartment, even though, sometimes it's rough to pay the rent, but you have somewhere to live, and they didn't, and they made it. So, man, that starts asking you questions on your mind. Then that means that I can do it too. I have a lot of resources. I have a lot of this. Why not use them? Why not push them? Why not this? Why not that? So stop doing all that. So, I mean, we cannot help each other. We don't want to, that's what happened to them. And from them telling us that, we don't want that to happen to us. So how can we not that happen? So let's help each other out. Let's create these projects here. There's an income over here that we're making here, but we take a percentage and we help the community. We're making an income with somebody else here, take the percentage and we help the community. So it's like, even if you're making different incomes different ways, but you're still helping the community. So I was like, man, this is what we got to do: collaborate, adapt, generation of wealth, collaboration of wealth. Because I mean, that's why we're here, to just support each other, go out there, live life. I know God didn't create this earth so we can just stay here in Houston, Texas. I want to go to Jamaica, go to the, have fun, and go Hawaii. But while we're doing that, you are creating something that you're helping others that they can do the same later on when they want to. I just wanted to finish up with that.
And like in kids' eyes, like you're saying too, because when my guys went and did the tug of war, um, it was for shelter ponies. Kids with disabilities, they don't know if they are um, Antonio Brown or if they're Tom Brady. They don't know the difference. I mean, some might, but some don't. And just seeing this athlete there that's spending time with them, that means to them everything in the world. And that is what my gratification, that's what I get out of it. That's what makes me happy at the end of the day and helps me sleep at night. Because there's too much violence and too much bad stuff going on. And I choose to help and see the good in everybody and everything. But yeah, for the
Mm-hmm.
Texas Raiders, we have Facebook, Texas Raiders of Northwest Houston. Instagram is Texas Raiders 2K18. The Texas Raiderettes. My name's Jennifer Garza. So we are 501c3 nonprofit. I know everybody's going through a hard time right now, but we are, if you choose to sponsor the team, sponsor a player, sponsor a cheerleader, we have to pay for stadiums. The guys have to pay to play. So it's not something that's given. I put a lot of money into it the for the bags, for the uniforms, for the stadiums, for the refs. Everything costs. So just let me know if you choose for your business to reach out and to help with the team, because I promise you we do a lot of charity work, and like you've seen us in schools. Like I said, tug of war, you can go to our Texas Raiders 2K18 page and see the different things that we've done. And if anybody too, if y'all need any help with
Man,
anything, or if y'all have an event coming up, let us know. We can come out and help too.
all right,
But
that's awesome.
appreciate you.
Man, this is amazing. You guys, we went for an hour and 10 minutes, but man, we had a lot of the audience. I can see through the back, office right here that we had a lot of audience, a lot of questions, not questions, a lot of positive comments and stuff. So that was great. That was
Oh,
good. And I mean, the people that saw the live, you good. If you're gonna see the replay, that's good because I know I'm gonna share it out later, and I can cut this video to little pieces and stuff. And the same, you can just share it anyways. And people love it. The other one, the guy that I had last time, he was a vegetarian. Started his business as a vegetarian, no,
mm,
vegan bakery.
no-
And from the video, he got a lot of stuff. He's from Chicago, and he's been like, "Hey, man, it was amazing." One of my first, second podcasts, and I'm having a lot of traction, and you gave me a lot of good ideas, and he's applying. That's what I like. The ideas that I gave him, the thoughts that I gave him, he's already applying them like this, and they're working. So to me, that makes me happy because it's work for them.
that's what it's all about. Lifting each other. There should be nobody in this world that feels putting your hand down to help someone to get to get up to where you're at, or even help you lift a little bit higher. A lot of people in this world, it goes to their head, or to me, I appreciate, welcome any advice. If I'm doing something wrong, hey, there's only two other women football owners I know, Carrie in Colorado and Kelly in California. There might be more. Those are the only ones I know. So it takes a lot for a woman to be in this field, and especially be an owner of a team. So, hey, I'm always welcome advice. Anybody wants to anything, tell me what I'm doing wrong, tell me what I can do better. I always welcome it.
I'll definitely have you back in the show. Definitely, we um, talk you out of this later on. I'll text you or we call and make sure
Okay.
we do something. 'Cause, I mean, I'm ready to help a lot of these kids now and teaching them with the kids entrepreneurship and stuff, so they can have that seed already. I know they want to have fun, so that's good too. But we got them,
We,
I would like to see a lot of more kids writing their own books, being their own business
um,
at this age. And I know kids that are already doing it, and it's amazing. There's some kids that are making more than the parents. I'm like, man, that makes me good. Like, man, if the kids are making more than the parents, that's good because they got a mentality different. They can help the parents. They can create something beautiful, more time, with the whole family, more vacation time, more working time, but positive. And at the time, you're helping.
definitely, maybe you can come out when we have tryouts for the Raiderettes. Once everything calms down, you can come out and record it, be there firsthand and see how we do things.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Thank you, Miss Jennifer. And I'll definitely have you back. Time for me to go shave. Good thing that you cannot see it on the video.
We appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Uh, no problem. And we'll keep in contact. Thank you,
Oh, definitely.
Jennifer.
Thank you.
So we spent an hour in
Yeah. You didn't know that. It goes by quick.
there? Not really. He kept trying to bite.
Thank you, guys. Look at that. An hour and 12 minutes. It was an amazing. I can see all the comments right here. Thank you guys for every single positive comment from Darius, Rebecca, everybody. That some people that I cannot, that they don't have the names here, but they're from maybe my Facebook group or other groups. Thank you very much, and I hope that you enjoy this show. It was amazing. I learned a lot from Jennifer, and I know we're gonna work together um, soon. I know that, and thank you, Darius. See, he's still watching. Blessings. Thank you for for the live people that are still watching right now, for the replay. Thank you very much. I enjoy the show. I know it's an hour and 13 minutes. Even if you watch 30 minutes, so you watch the whole thing, it don't really matter. There's a lot of positive talking about community, kids, a little bit of everything, and a little bit of knowing Miss Jennifer Garza. So this is amazing. Thank you, Darius. So if you are sharing this, it was great information. Keep on sharing it so people can see. And I will still be keep on bringing in more guests, like I said from the beginning, startups all the way to the stop, and something that I'm gonna start working to, creating with other people with a podcast, but it's gonna be just for kids, kids empowering kids, kids teaching kids, stuff like that. It's gonna be amazing. I just wait for that, and now that you're home and you got more time, start thinking of new ideas, not to like invent new things, but maybe the things that you're already doing, just reinvent them, reinvent them, collaborate them, sprinkle a little bit of salt, what you want to sprinkle in it, and just boom, brush them, play with them, beta test them, see who likes it. Is if it grows 5, 10 people, you see that is working, then push it, and then create it to a new business, a new project, or whatever it is. But I always keep on doing that. Keep on testing things. Keep on letting them promote yourself. Promote every day. Promote whatever you're doing. Promote the new things. They reinventing things, and see what happens. That's how you get other people support you. Other people be like, hey, I want to join. I really want to join what you're doing. I know I don't mind paying the monthly subscription or whatever it is that you're charging, but I want to support you. And bam, you're gonna start seeing that, okay, this is working. The things that I'm doing are working. All right, let me take the next step and actually create a little bit bigger. Now let me roll some Facebook ads. What's it called, organic, do the podcast, push yourself, little videos here, little video there. It's not only for myself. I'm not only talking for myself, but I'm talking for everybody that is still watching right now, and for the people that are going to watch the replay. Do it, man. Fail so many times, fail big. You hear that? Fail big, and you're going to make it. You will be successful. Everybody can be successful on anything that you really want to do. Thank you guys, and keep on sharing it. And it's amazing. I'm gonna keep on bringing, like I said, more guests. I know I got a couple of them in mind, so we can keep on learning. And don't forget, check out my pages, Yeraldy Media and your Council Media Group, and you'll see other videos that we have worked and we have done, and then the podcasts from Yeraldy Media from other guys. And thank you again, Miss Jennifer Garza. And definitely, we're gonna do a lot of things. Thank you for all the comments, standing all the way here for an hour and 6 minutes. That's a lot of support, and that from my heart, thank you very much, because I know even myself, when I see other shows that are last 1 and 16, I wouldn't even stay for the whole hour, maybe 30 or 40 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go because we gotta do things. But I'll see the replay from what I stopped to finish it. So I know a lot of people do that, and a lot of people just watch the whole thing. So thank you, God bless, and yeah, have a blessed Saturday. Your boy Jesus Ortiz from the Push Power to Power Show. Peace out.